Kunene Biography, Politics, Music, Imprisonment. Kunene Biography. Kunene was born on 21 October 1970 in the township of Kunene in Adendilsris in the Free State Province of South Africa. He is a businessman and Secretary-General of the Patriotic Alliance. Kunene early life and education. Kunene was raised by his mother and grandparents in Adendilsris in the Free State. His mother was an evangelist and faith healer while his grandmother was a midwife. He attended primary and secondary school in the Free State Province and later attended Vista University, now Central University of Technology, where he obtained his teacher's degree. Kunene career. Kunene attended Vista University and upon completion she became an English teacher. In 2004, after being released from prison, he got a job working as an agent for a man selling refurbished desks and stationery to schools in the Free State Province. In September 2005 he got a teaching job at Calculus Secondary School in Bloemfontein, where he reportedly taught life orientation and English, and it has also been reported that he was a pupils counselor. In 2006, together with former inmate Gayton Mackenzie, they formed X Concepts Publishing to promote and sell Gayton Mackenzie Prison Biography. They invested some of the money they got from the sales in mine consultancy business. In 2008 he was appointed Senior Manager of Community Relations at Central Rand Gold, CRG. Kunene Media. In 2010 he held a birthday party that provoked debate, envy, praise and rebuke across South Africa. In 2011, he got to star on the reality show So What, Big Money, Big Dream, which aired on E.TV. In 2012, the show was renewed and it ran for 13 episodes. Kunene Politics. In 2013 Kunene joined Julius Malema, expelled ANC member and former ANC Youth League president, on his political party Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF. He formed his own political party, Patriotic Alliance, PA, with business partner and friend Gayton Mackenzie, which contested the 2014 general election of South Africa to a dismal outcome. Kunene letter to President Jacob Zuma. Kunene wrote an open letter to President Jacob Zuma that was published on 21 June 2013 on the Star newspaper. Dear President Jacob Zuma, I'm writing this because I've never been more disappointed with the ANCU lead. I was once your fervent supporter. I attended some of those night vigils during your trials, and, like many, I believed you would be the force for change the youth and the poor desperately need in our country. Like many others, I donated to your cause when I was called on, and allowed my facilities to be used for ANC and Youth League meetings, sometimes for unusual meetings where your political comeback was planned. You may wonder what qualifies me to make any kind of political comment. As everyone knows, I'm just a socialite and a businessman, but it's also no secret I am a hobby horse for politicians to ride whenever they want to criticize crass materialism and the decay of morals. It's true, I like to spend, and I'm not an angel, but unlike politicians I'm not spending taxpayers' money. My real point is that, as a socialite and a businessman, I meet many people, including politicians. When they speak to your face, Mr. President, they tell you your imperial clothes are very stylish. When they talk to me, and feel they are safe from your army of spies, most of them admit that you, the emperor, have no clothes. The Gupta issue alone should be the last straw for many South Africans. But the extent of how much the Gupta family controls you, and by implication this country, has not even begun to be understood. It's amazing how terrified most people in the ANC are to speak about this reality, because they truly fear you. Even if you're not in government, tenders are used to inspire fear among people of influence. Thank God my livelihood is not dependent on tenders. I'll save you the trouble of trying to find out if I have any tenders so you can cut me out of them. I don't have any. You show no loyalty even to those who kept you out of prison. After the Sheikhs and Julius Malema, the Guptas must know that you can drop them faster than they could drop your name. In your quest for self-preservation, you have become heartless. The reason I supported you and your campaign is because you were marketed to us as someone who would unify us and get rid of the politics of fear, but today there's more fear and more division in the ANC than ever before. In public you smile and laugh, but in truth you behave like a monster, a tyrant who will target perceived enemies ruthlessly, and because of that fear few dare to speak openly. We'd have had yet another cabinet reshuffle if your wings had not been clipped a little in Mange. Of course, I am not so naive as to blame everything regrettable that happens in the ANC on you. But in my home province, the Free State, the Premier, Ace Magushule, imitates your behavior and even seems to be trying to outdo you in being entangled with the Guptas. He learned it from you. He thinks it's okay to blow R40 million, or R140 million, others say, on a website. It's not a great website either, by the way. When even your Kenny Coons start thinking a guy is wasting money shamelessly, you should know how bad it is. Of course, we'd all like to know where that money really went. This is not what the ANC is or should be. We thought it was bad enough with the sheikhs, but who could have predicted your, and therefore our, wholesale nationalization by the Guptas? Even your immediate community, your neighbors in Kandla, have to walk past your ridiculously overpriced palace donated to you by a once unsuspecting public, knowing how you have your own private clinic they cannot use and their children must play in the dusty streets among the stones, while your compound has an AstroTurf sports field that cost the taxpayer R3.5 million and costs R100,000 a month to maintain. How is fake grass a part of security upgrades? Everyone knows the Public Protector's report will find damning evidence of what went on there, but something must be said now already, in case you find a way to shut her up too. It's no wonder the ANC lost the vote in Kandla. If the people who know you best, the place you are from and where you occupy tribal land, do not trust you enough to vote for you, why should the rest of us? This ANC is no longer the ANC of John Langadube, Oliver Tambo and other illustrious names. I'm also getting tired of hearing about how the ANC is bigger than any individual. There are those who are stubbornly loyal to the ANC, as if it's some kind of marriage, who keep the faith that someday the party will return to its roots. But even if they're my friends, I can't enthusiastically join in with the declarations of those who say they will die in coffins wrapped in ANC colors, no matter what, as my former business partner Gayton McKenzie once said to me. Mr. President, I don't want to be one of those who tell you in fear that you have clothes on, when it's obvious you are completely exposed. I know the dogs will be set on me for saying this, but you have been naked for longer than most of us were willing to admit. And you're now stripping the ANC of the last shred of its integrity. The world laughs at us. I love the ANC, or what it's supposed to be, but I don't love your ANC. For those of us who care, the question now is, as Vladimir Lenin asked, what is to be done? Kenny Kunene Music. Kenny Kunene is the owner of New Money Record. In 2012 Kenny Kunene released his own album, Czar Sushi Mix, a house compilation under his own record company. In December 2010 Kenny Kunene claimed to be bringing Drake and Nicki Minaj to South Africa and Zimbabwe, a claim that was disputed by Nicki Minaj through her Twitter account. Drake's Minaj tour never took place. Kenny Kunene later successfully brought American artists Lil Kim, Fajo, Timbaland, Ciara and DJ Scratch. Although scheduled to perform in Johannesburg, Durban and Cape Town, they only performed at the Coca-Cola Dome in Northgate, Johannesburg. It was reported that this was as a result of slow ticket sales. It didn't make business sense to host concerts where ticket sales were not booming. Kenny Kunene was quoted saying, "Kenny Kunene imprisonment. Kenny Kunene was imprisoned in 1997 to 2003 after being convicted of running a Ponzi scheme. While in prison, he often organized parties among the inmates to build goodwill among his fellow inmates. It is reported he spent 10 years locked up. He spent 4 years awaiting trial before serving his 6-year sentence.